Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I've uploaded, but today I'm going to bring you a video of basic AI inside of Unity. So what I have here is a 3D model with some animations on it. So it has an idle animation, walking, and then running. So there's just some basic animations, and we're going to be hooking these up to like an AI controller basically, so we'll be able to control all the states and stuff inside of the code. And we're going to be using NavMesh agent for this, and NavMesh environment, so that's how we're going to get it to move around, because you might as well use it if Unity has it there. So first things first, we're just going to do the setup. I already set up my character here with all the animations attached to him, and all the animations are in place, so if the character stops, he's not going to move anywhere. So none of the animations actually move move his position at all. So that's something just to keep in mind when doing this, because you might get some rubber banding effects. So basically what that looked like is he'll start running, but on the nav mesh he'll start doing this kind of rubber band thing. So anyways, let's just build ourselves a little quick environment. So we're going to use a quad. Rotate that. And I'm just going to scale it. Okay, I wonder, do we still have any textures? And terrain, surface. There, that'll do. Just something to take away the bright white. Okay, so this is going to be our environment, and this can be your 3D level or whatever, but you're going to have to do some tweaks if you got stairs and all that good stuff. Well, first off, we're not going to be using a mesh collider because mesh colliders is just a no-go. So the first thing we need to do on this quad is we need to make it a static. So this is an object that doesn't move. So we're going to do that. So anything that's your base ground is going to be the static. So all floors are static, like they don't move. It's a floor. So once we have that there, so now we'll go up here to window and go to navigation, and this will open this tab here, and you can see we have all this. So we have the agents, and this is where you can control the slope and the step that the agent can actually go up, but we'll go into that in a second. What we're going to do is come to bake, and this here is if you decrease this is the size of the distance between an object that's on the mesh. But first I'm going to just bake this. Save the scene. Let's call it AI. So let that bake really quick, and now you can see we have this blue. This thickness here, this is this basically. It's the agent radius. So if I decrease this and bake again, you can see that it gets smaller. And then if I add a 3D cube to the environment and I place it in here, the way that I like to do the environment stuff, so like props and things like that that you don't want to be able to walk through, is I just add a component of NavMesh obstacle, and we're using the box, and then just click carve. And now if we go to navigation, you can see that we have this, and it still does the distance between us, so he will walk around this obstacle if it came in his way. And the cool thing about having this as an obstacle is that in real time we can update its position, and it will also update the NavMesh. So we could have this moving backwards and forwards, and the AI will always try to avoid it. So that's a pretty cool feature, and that's kind of as in depth as I'm going to go with the bacon for the minute. So we'll just leave it at that. I suppose now we'll move on to actually rigging this guy up in the animator, so we can actually control his animations for when he moves. So we'll click on AI, and I'll go to the animator, and here we have all the animations. So idle is going to be my default, and then we're going to want to do it like this. Now it's not going to be a complex animator, but it'll get the job done. This is generally just how I like to set it up. So we make all these transitions. So you can go from idle to walk, walk to idle, walk to running, running to walk, and then yeah, it's kind of self-explanatory. And we're going to come up here to parameters, and we're going to use a parameter and click plus, and we're going to use a bool. I'm going to do is walking, bool is running. So these are going to be the two things that we're going to be checking here. So we're going to be using our inspector actually. So if I click on this transition arrow here, we're going to have has exit time. We're going to untick that, so that basically means at any point he can, in the animation, you can switch to walking, which is what we want. And then we're going to do the exact same for here. And now for the conditions, we're going to plus, and is walking has to be true, and running has to be false. And then to go from walking to idle, we are going to do walking has to be false and running has to be false. So basically what that is saying, actually if I play the game here, full play, okay, so if I come here you can see the idle things looping, but it's going in here because there's no parameter set up. So I can update this in real time. So I'm gonna have has no exit time, so it can go through whenever it feels like. And now we're gonna actually add a condition, or we can go to the walking actually. So if I enable the walking, you can see that it goes straight to walking, but it's doing all this swapping back because we don't have the parameter set up, or the conditions, sorry. So we're back to idle now. So I'm gonna set these up. We can edit this in runtime, which is really handy. So we're going to untick has exit time plus here, so we want to go from running to walking. So you want to do walking is true, running is false, and then to go from walking to running, walking is false and running is true. Has no exit time. So now we can go to walking. He will loop walking, and say if we want to go to running, so now we'll be going to running, and then in our scene this is getting updated, and then we will be able to head back to this now. So if I come up here and set the conditions for this, and I put is walking, is running has to be set to false, so the same as the other one, and then to go to running, walking has to be false and running has to be true. So now we can go straight into running, and then back to idle, and then we go from walking to running to walking to running to idle. So now we have this whole thing set up. So now all we have to do is just program this into the game. So that is the basic animation setup now for all the parameters. Now we're going to make this guy move and do what we want him to do. So I click on the outside here, the one with the animator attached to it. So what we're going to do first is we're going to add the component of NavMesh agent, and you can see that we get this neat little cylinder here. So this controls the height. So I generally 1.8 for standard character. So this controls how tall the character is and all that good stuff. So, and this is what's going to move him. The radius, so how skinny he is. So we're just going to be basing it off his body. So we'll just leave it at 0.4. That's including the hands. The speed, we'll mess around with that inside the code. The angular speed, I've never really seen the angular speed works through the rotation really well, but I'll look into that a bit more. So, like, some of the things here that I haven't had to really touch off. And then the pathfinding, auto traverse off, and auto repat is on. So the two of them are on, and then area mask is everything. So just the default NavMesh agent will do. Now we're going to add a component, AI underscore controller. Wait, what was that other thing there? I don't know what that is, but I said that's just a basic script. AI control. And we're going to be doing this in C#. Okay. Now that we have that, we'll go and open it. Put it on the screen. Come on. I should have had this stuff booted up before I even began. Okay, there we go. Right, so this is inside of Visual Studio now. And what we're going to do is I just like to tidy these up really quickly, just for the sake of being neat. Okay. So the first thing that we are going to do is we need to actually use, so we need to use the AI, so using Unity engine.ai, and that's pretty much all we need for the minute off the top of my head. So private NavMesh agent underscore NavMesh agent, you can call this whatever you want. Oh, my bad. So that's the NavMesh agent that we're going to be using, and which is the component on the character, so we can control where he's going to go. And then I'm just going to copy this just so I don't, because programmers are lazy. So we're going to use a game object, and we're just going to call this target. Now in the start function, we're going to automatically get him to go to the target, or actually we'll update it so we can move target around and stuff, and he'll still follow it. So underscore NavMesh agent dot set destination. I believe this one acquires the brackets, yeah. So, and then we're going to do the underscore target dot transform dot position, and that's it. Just that one line of code will update the character to move towards the target. So we'll come back in here now, click on our AI controller, and here we have some of the stuff. So the NavMesh agent will go there in the top, and then the target, we're going to use the target as that cube. So I'm just going to position the camera a little bit better. I think that'll work for now. Okay, so update this. Just even updating. Oh, it is. Bad. So we have this. So you can see that there's no target set, and it's going to keep spamming into the console and stuff saying there's no target. What we need to just do is just drag in the cube. boop, and you can see he moves towards the cube. So if I come into the scene view here, I'm going to click on this cube, and we're just going to get him to follow the whole cube. So you can see that he follows it, he rotates towards it, he always keeps it in, he always keeps looking for it. So if you run down a corridor, he's going to keep looking at it, and if you turn the corner, he's going to keep following the corridor and coming to it. And what the fuck is going on here? Okay, so that is the basic pathfinding with NavMesh agents for this tutorial. In the next one, we're going to be going into actually using the animator, so a little bit more in depth, and I'm going to try fix that idle issue that I just had there. So that concludes this tutorial, guys. Hopefully this helped you understand how NavMesh agents and obstacles and all that stuff work. And next time we will be using the animator. I was just setting it up in this video so you know how to in the next one, because we're going to be going straight into it. That's all for this tutorial, guys. Thanks for watching and welcome back to the channel. Please rate, comment and subscribe. Thank you.